Whew. Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on my live Q&A from LA, 6 p.m. Friday night. Kind of spaced out there a minute. I didn't realize I was live for like 10 seconds. So very unprofessional, but let's get moving. All right, so thanks for joining me tonight. Let's go down here and get the hi Arwa. Thanks for joining me bright and early, as I say, at 6 p.m. Where are you from, Arwa? Where are you viewing from? Are you in the LA time zone or the Eastern time zone or some other place in this big, beautiful world? Hey, Rebecca. Happy Friday to you, too. I'm getting all my ducks in a row here. I'm trying to... All right, so we got a few that joined. Melbourne, Australia. That's interesting. I know that I lived in Jakarta for a few years. That's where my wife is from. And so I happen to know that Jakarta is about 18 hours ahead of LA. So, you know, what we would usually do is we'd subtract 12 hours. You know, we would just make night day and then add the 8 hours or subtract the 8 hours to figure out what time it was in LA if I wanted to talk to my parents or anything like that. Ah, Sydney. Right on. So some Australians. So that means that, let's see, 6 a.m. plus 8. So 6 plus 8 is 12. So it's like 2 or 3 o'clock, right? Over there in the afternoon?
Correct.
Does that make right?
Correct.
Australia? Or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. I don't know why my camera is going crazy on me. Okay. I'm blurry. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's dive into the news, and then I'll talk about my latest video. Let's go over here. All right. So the big news is that Bitcoin took a dive earlier this week, but it was a very sharp drop, and it was a little suspicious. It's kind of weird. And there's an article here about why it dropped 10% all of a sudden, which and the main catalyst supposedly was that Goldman Sachs announced that they were not going to open a Bitcoin trading desk, which is particularly galling because a month or two ago, when they announced that they would be opening a trading desk, the market did nothing. You know, I was expecting the market to like shoot up on that news, and it did nothing. But when they announced that they weren't going to open the Bitcoin trading desk, the market took a dive. If that in fact was why the market took a dive, we don't know. We also know that someone shorted Bitcoin not very long before that. So there appeared to be some sort of manipulation going on, which is not really great news because that's one of the things that the Securities and Exchange Commission is refusing to approve Bitcoin exchange traded funds for, is because its volatility and its susceptibility to manipulation. So that could not be a great thing. But interestingly enough, after all of this hoopla, Goldman Sachs came out and said, we never said we were not going to open a Bitcoin trading desk. which means that the announcement or the rumor that was printed in a web article on Business Insider's webpage from anonymous sources was, as they would say, fake news. It was not true. So that's what happens when we print news stories from anonymous sources. You know, and when I was younger, they didn't used to do that. They didn't used to have a news story and say that the people that told us this refused to be identified. You know, when I was a kid, whenever there was a news story, they always quoted sources. C'est la vie. This is the world we live in. So anyway, Bitcoin took a drop, and it wasn't pretty. Now, also on that exact same day, we also heard that Shapeshift announced that they were going to be requiring their users, in so many words, to require an account, basically. Whereas before, Shapeshift was kind of a cryptocurrency exchange where you didn't need to start an account. You didn't need to give them your email address. You were able to simply exchange cryptocurrency one for another, as long as you had an address, a receiving address, and you were, you know, able to pay in a cryptocurrency to make the exchange. And, you know, they supported both of them. And so they announced, probably due to regulatory pressure or threats or whatever, that they were going to require users to provide KYC information. For those of you who don't know what KYC means, it means that you're, you know, you have to provide some form of identification, being it an ID, driver's license, passport, whatever, in order to make trades or to open an account. So this was not very well received by the cryptocurrency community, because cryptocurrency is supposed to be decentralized, of course, and you should be able to exchange cryptocurrency anonymously without revealing your personal information. That was kind of the whole promise of what Bitcoin was all about, was, hey, why can't I just buy something if I have the coin without me having to give you my credit card number, my bank account number, my address, my phone number, all this other stuff that's required by most web pages these days, like Amazon or Apple or whoever. You have to give them your life story if you want to buy something. Whereas Bitcoin, the promise was, hey, I got Bitcoin, you need it, give me an address, you know, I'll agree to send it if you'll agree to whatever. Send me my shiny computer or whatever it is. You know, there are a few caveats to all of that, but that's the great promise of Bitcoin, is that I can pay you online anywhere in the world without having to provide you my life story, right? And so here we go. Shapeshift says, well, you can exchange currencies, but we need to know who you are, which is kind of messed up. All right, so I've been babbling on as a lot of people are joining. Thank you, Jason from UK, Ada and Swift, please. I'll talk about Ada. I like Ada. GPU mining ever be profitable again? It's 11 a.m. in 11 a.m. in Australia, Sydney. Cool. Yes. Why do markets react so badly to bad news, and they typically ignore good news? We'll see. You know, people were piling into Bitcoin last year, sort of in a frenzy, and any kind of good news was really shooting the market up. So I guess things just have to be in the right mood to get the market to go up on good news, right? There has to be some momentum moving upwards. Scott Lee, good day and aloha, Hawaii. Okay, KYC on Binance and KuCoin. Okay. Hello from Idaho, Grand Illusion. I have a question for you. I have Ledger Live and I can only have 5 cryptocurrency on it. I've used the app manager and delete all the other cryptos that I do not use to make room. Yes, unfortunately, there are about, I don't know, 20, 25 and growing numbers of cryptocurrency apps that you can use with the ledger, but it will only hold a certain number of them. And that was always one of its drawbacks. And then they updated the firmware, and they claimed that in updating this firmware that they would allow you to use more at the same time, that you could store more on the same at the same time. But that promise really hasn't fulfilled itself, right? We're still dealing with having to shuffle our apps on and off in order to use and hold and buy and transfer cryptocurrencies. Now, you can hold as many cryptocurrency private keys on there as you want. So let's see where we're at here. I could throw on 5 apps, create wallets, transfer crypto, delete those apps, put 5 new apps on there, create 5 new wallets, throw cryptocurrency in there, delete those apps, put 5 new apps on there, and then put cryptocurrency wallets in those. And then all of those cryptocurrencies that I stored will always be there. All I need to do is, if I want to send and receive, just add or subtract that particular app when I'm ready to use it. So let's say I've got Litecoin on there, and I don't have the Litecoin app on there. So I just need to delete something to make room and put Litecoin back on there, and then I can get back to my Litecoin. So it will hold all of the private keys, right? That's math, right? It has room to hold all the private keys. It just can't hold all of the apps at the same time. So you're going to have to shuffle your apps on and off if you want to store and manage more than 5. And I don't know that 5 is your limit. I think there are more, it's possible to hold more than just 5. But depending on the cryptocurrency, some cryptocurrency apps for the ledger hold more, take up more space than others. So I haven't really done a video on that, but I'll have to check into it because I'm not really sure myself. But I believe that there is a way to stack them to maximize their storage, right? I guess maybe put the ones on there that take up the most space first, and then the smaller ones at the end. But like I said, I'm just sort of guessing here. I do know that if it tells you that there's not enough room for a particular app, that you just have to delete one and make room. And I've done this, and it's a pain, but it's you know, you can live with it. It's not a deal breaker. You can still use the ledger. You just have to manage the apps a little bit. That's all. You know, my first computer was of 386 SX with a 16 megahertz processor with a 45 gigabyte hard drive, and sometimes it didn't hold enough stuff for all my programs, so I would have to delete old and put new ones on. So I'm kind of, you know, I grew up in the era of space management. Most people these days are used to having basically unlimited space to store all their stuff. So it's a bit of a pain, but it's manageable. So yes. Tell us where you're watching, Crypto Daddy. I'm in LA, Los Angeles, Anaheim Hills, but from Compton. Jesse Compton. Your name is Compton and you're from Compton. That's pretty interesting. And you're in Anaheim Hills. Okay, you're in the same time zone then. You got it, Maya. Thank you, Hide on Kush. Blessings to all. Thank you. Yes, and you had to run defraggers on your hard drive, all that stuff. Oh, Bagon is from the Ivory Coast. Alrighty. So let me check the other news items that I've got in my Here, I'm going to keep this one open. I'm going to go over to, let's go to, I'm just going to open up a new one so that I can so that I can get to my controls and look at my list of topics. I'm getting old. I can't remember what I meant to talk about. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm looking at today's event. Pooies. It's not what I was trying to do. There we go. Bitcoin takes a dive, Shapeshift imposes KYC, and the Tor browser came out with a new version. So those of you who are into privacy and anonymity, there is a new Tor browser out. I'll go over here, which you can download. So the Tor browser is kind of a version of Firefox. Firefox is an open source code base by the Mozilla organization, and the open source means that anyone can use the code. So from that code base, Tor browser has been built on top of that. And the Tor browser uses the Tor network, which is a network of computer nodes around the world that allow you to connect encrypted connection between your browser and the target browser, wherever the browser that you're viewing. And this is done under the hood. You don't really deal with it at all. You just use this browser. And so you connect to other websites and your traffic is encrypted. No one can read your traffic. So you have a certain amount of what we would call anonymity and or privacy. Let me kind of explain the difference. Privacy means that they can't see what you're doing, but they pretty much know who you are. So it's like, I know Rex lives there, but he's got his curtains closed, so I can't see what he's doing, right? He might be watching TV, he might be on his computer, I don't know. He's got privacy, right? But I know he lives there, right? Anonymity means that they don't know who you are, right? So you're on a website, you're viewing a web page, but that server can't tell who you are, where you're coming from, your IP address, the browser, all that stuff. And you'd be amazed how much websites know about clients. So you go on a website and they know what kind of browser you're using, what kind of computer you're using, what kind of internet you're using, your IP address. I mean, they know a lot about you. And they can gather this information and store it and cook it and slice it and dice it and sell it to third parties and all that stuff. So Tor gives you that anonymity so that they don't know who you are. And so you can visit web pages without being tracked, right? So if you're into that thing, check out Tor, the new version of Tor. I'm doing a video on it. I did the video earlier today, but I haven't had a chance to edit yet. So I'll probably post it in the next few days. Now, I did post a video earlier. I posted a video earlier about Monero. Let's see if we go over to that one. Where'd it go? I thought I had it up. No, I don't. Yeah. So the best way to buy Monero for privacy and anonymity, using decentralized exchanges. Now, here we're going to get into another privacy and anonymity issue, right? So for those of you who are not aware, Bitcoin is not an anonymous cryptocurrency. You can't really buy things anonymously using Bitcoin. You may think you can. You get a certain degree of privacy because, like I said, I can send you Bitcoin without having to give you my life story. But anyone with half a brain that wants to track that transaction can figure out what your IP is, because the ledger, the Bitcoin ledger, is transparent. Anyone can view it. So if I spend Bitcoin and my ISP or the government or the local police or you know, the local rent-a-hacker, whoever wants to figure out where that Bitcoin came from, it's not that difficult. So, but there are other coins that are more anonymous, like Monero. And Monero is a way you can use Monero to purchase things privately to a certain extent. But the trouble is, how do you get a hold of Monero anonymously or privately? And I've done some Monero videos where I've bought the Monero on Binance or Bittrex. And that's cool because Monero has value, and it probably will go up in price, and I might just treat it as an investment. But to stay true to the spirit of Monero, you would want to try to buy it as anonymously as possible. And that's why I demonstrate using decentralized exchanges instead of the centralized exchanges. And so this video, I show a technique on 2 different exchanges on how to buy Monero. And so let's talk, we're talking about privacy and anonymity. So if I want to buy some cryptocurrency, if I want to exchange some cryptocurrency, I could use Changelly. And Changelly does not require my name and address and my ID and all that stuff. And I can exchange one cryptocurrency for another as long as I have a wallet address and some coin to spend. And I could spend all these types of coins, and I can buy all these other types of coins. In this case, I'm buying XMR or Monero because I want the privacy coin. So this is a sort of private way. I mean, you can't really hide from Uncle Sam if you're in their crosshairs. But it is staying true to the spirit of Monero by buying it on a decentralized exchange. You're staying more private. And then also block trades is another great one for doing that. It's just simply you go to their website, you you enter you enter a cryptocurrency that you have, and you over here you put one that you want, and then they'll generate an address for you for the cryptocurrency that you want. Or I'm sorry, they will ask you. So if I choose Monero, it says what's your Monero address, and then you'll tell them what you're sending. So in this case, let's say we do like I did in my video, Bitcoin.
Where else is it?
So once you put the Monero address in there, it'll generate a deposit address for you to pay them, and then you'll get your transaction processed, and you'll get your money back in your wallet, your Monero wallet, or whatever wallet that you're dealing with. So that's one way. And see, block trades, I don't even need an email. But I am on their website, and I'm not using the Tor browser, so it is a clear net transaction. So take it with a grain of salt how private and anonymous that purchase of Monero would be. You might have to have all kinds of safeguards going on. Oh, I'm using my VPN and my Tor browser to go on block trades and blah blah blah. And then another word of a lot of websites recognize when you try to connect to them with a Tor node, and they reject you. So it's a whole nother ball of wax when you're dealing with trying to browse the internet with anonymity and privacy. Monero Shapeshift, is it decentralized? Yes, the Shapeshift. Although the only problem with Shapeshift, I don't believe they support Monero. And they've just announced that they're requiring KYC, right? So if I have Bitcoin and I want to receive Monero, let's see. I don't believe they support it. They might. Let's see. Yes, they do. Okay. So yes, I don't see a coin. How'd that happen? All right, so I have Bitcoin. I want Monero. I want to do it on Shapeshift. Yeah, but I don't know if they've implemented those changes right now. Here it is. Membership is live, right? You got to higher limits and Fox rewards for members. Sign up now to receive 100 Fox. Okay. But my question is, will they even let me use their thing unless I sign up? They might. They might now, but they might not down the road. So theoretically, yes, Shapeshift is also another decentralized exchange where you could lay your hands on some Monero. And as a matter of fact, I think I Googled best way to buy Monero, and it was Shapeshift. But that might be changing now that they've started implementing this membership program. Because apparently, from what I understand, they're all like, hey, you could be a member, isn't that great? And then they're like, oh, by the way, it's mandatory. So, goodbye, you know, anonymous Shapeshift. All right, let's see here. I had someone that asked me about ADA early on, so let's just briefly touch on ADA. ADA is Cardano, and you can go to the Cardano website and learn all about Cardano. We talked in the past about types of cryptocurrencies. There are three main types, I guess you could say. You got your currencies, your virtual machines, and your utility tokens. The virtual machines are like Ethereum. Ethereum is the big boy of virtual machines where you can execute smart contracts. And so right now, Ethereum is the big player in that area. It's number 2 under Bitcoin. But there are a lot of new players in this space, and Cardano is one of them. And Cardano is run by Charles Hoskinson, who was formerly involved with Ethereum. So here we have one of the developers that helped build Ethereum, who started his own cryptocurrency virtual machine. And this is Cardano. And basically, it's trying to fix some of the problems that arose with Ethereum as far as scalability and speed and those sort of issues that cropped up in December of 2017 when everyone was interested in cryptocurrency and the whole thing just sort of got crushed under its own weight. Bitcoin and Ethereum were both overloaded. It was taking days for transactions. So Cardano has its own cryptocurrency called ADA, and then it also is a virtual machine that can run decentralized apps. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And then you can go over here, get started, go and get the Daedalus wallet, which is a desktop wallet right now. It's one of the only wallets that supports Cardano. Their Ledger has announced that they're working on support for Cardano. So pretty soon, maybe Ledger will be able to, you'll be able to store ADA on your Ledger, or at least the private keys for ADA. And then, let's see, let's see. If you wanted to buy and sell ADA, there's several of the major players, Bittrex and Binance, that you can buy ADA on. And you can't buy ADA on Coinbase. So you'll have to open up an account on Bittrex, Binance or BitMet, or some of these smaller ones, and fund your exchange account with some kind of cryptocurrency, be it Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or whatever you own. And so you could start on Coinbase, buy some cryptocurrency, and then transfer it over to one of these exchanges and buy ADA. And if you're interested in buying some ADA, I have several videos on how you go about that. Let's see here. Let's do Cardano. So if you go to my page and hit Cardano, you'll see I've got several videos on how to buy and download and, you know, install the Daedalus wallet and buy Cardano. This one's pretty good, how to buy Cardano. And then paper wallet for Cardano if you want. This one is pretty good here if you're just interested in buying some Cardano. It's a pretty short, sweet little intro, how you go about connecting. You start on Coinbase, and then you end up buying some Cardano. And I do it pretty quick. 13 minutes, not bad. All right, Jesse Compton was eating at Langer's Deli. That's cool. We had to order Chinese because we're kind of on a short schedule. Okay, Swithero decentralized exchange. Yeah, part of what was in the news about Shapeshift was what do you do instead of Shapeshift? And let me Swithero. Let's see what Swithero is.
It'll throw you into a toilet. I'm gonna go now.
Now here's the exchange. Okay. All right, so I haven't used this particular exchange before, so I'll have to check it out. We'll add that to our list of videos, ideas that I go through when I'm stuck for ideas. Happens a lot. So we'll have to check that out. But a couple of others I mentioned. Changely is one alternative to Shapeshift. And at the moment, block trades does not require ID or email in order to exchange cryptocurrency. They may be the next on the chopping block for all we know. And let's see, I think there were some others. Let's go over here to... Ah, damn it. Honey? Honey? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Hang on just 1 second. Wait a minute. Alternates cryptocurrency sorry. Here's one. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Someone was here with the rent. I'm the rent collector, whatever you want to call me. Now, and I haven't used this one either yet, so that's another one we're going to have to put on our list to try out. But I did, like I said, do a video today on Changely and block trades. So if you want a step-by-step on how to use those, check out my latest video, the one that I just posted today. It should be, like if you go to my page, or if you go to my video page, it should be first on the list right there. Buying Monero using block trades or Changely. So that'd be one way around the old Shapeshift know your customer stuff. All right, so let's go down a little bit. KYC is know your customer. It basically just means, you know, I need to see some ID. Or, as some people might say, your papers, please. Right? Your papers. Give me your papers. Thanks for looking swiftly. No problem. Cubase. No, I've not done a video on how to install Cubase. I believe they call it Cubase. I used it for a while. I tried it. It's basically a virtual machine that you can install on a computer and then run other operating systems on top of it. It's a virtual machine for your computer. And when you run, let's say you run Windows on top of Cubase, then they can't get any identifying information on your computer if you're connecting to websites. So it is another way to sort of give yourself a bit of anonymity online by using Cubase. There are many reasons why people would use Cubase. They may want to run multiple operating systems and be able to switch between them. So, but I have not done a video on that. It's a little difficult for me to do videos where I'm installing something cold on a hard drive, because then I can't run my OBS software. Like for example, right now I'm running OBS software, but if I was trying to explain to you how to install Windows on a cold hard drive, I wouldn't be able to have my OBS running at the time. So. Okay, Mandy, when you open MEW, the private key displayed, is that for Ether only or for the whole Nano? It's, first of all, they don't display private keys. They display public keys. The private keys are stored on the ledger and they are not seen, even by you. And they are only for your Ethereum address, not for everything on your ledger. That's a newbie question. I get it. There's no shame. My Ether wallet. So let's give it a roll. I've done this many times on my live stream. So we got our Ledger Nano S connected. I got to enter my PIN. All right, and then for My Ether Wallet, you need to go into your Ethereum app. If I can get it in focus there. Is that Ethereum? Nope. It may not even be on here. No, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Because of that shuffling business we were talking about. Sometimes they get... All right, so we go into Ethereum, and once we've entered Ethereum on this, we can choose View Wallet Info, and then we tell it Yes Ledger. And I think what she may be talking about or asking about is... Come on now. Oops. Yep. I don't know, things are going weird on me here. Let's see if it works. Ah, there we go. All right, so she may be talking about all of this business. I get a lot of people asking me about this page. I'm really not sure why they give you all this information. There may be people that need to know it or whatever, but as you can see here, the ledger is already selected. And then these addresses down here, I'm not even sure what these other addresses down here are, secondary or whatever, but you don't need to even read that screen. All you have to do is click Unlock Wallet. Boom, and you're done. Don't let that screen confuse you. Right? Now this address here, that is the public address of your Ethereum wallet. The wallet that you created on your Ledger Nano S that holds the Ethereum private keys. So, and as you can see here, we've used My Ether Wallet to access that particular Ethereum address, and I can see the balance, and from here I can do transactions. I can send and receive, and I can even view. I've got a few little ERC20 tokens down here too in this address, which is the main reason I use My Ether Wallet. Otherwise I would probably use Ledger Live. See, as you can see over here, I have the exact same balance in Ledger Live because it is the exact same Ethereum address. There's not much in there at the moment, but that's what MEW does, right? It's not displaying private keys to you. It's displaying the public key. That's a public key. Are there limits to the amounts we can use on Changelly? That I'm not sure of. There probably are. You probably have to read it. I always do videos on very small amounts because I'm not, I'm not trying to make huge trades. I'm just trying to demonstrate. So the amounts that I usually move back and forth are relatively small. But if you had, 50 bitcoins or more or something like that, you might want to double check to see what their limits are. They might even tell you if you try, like if I say I got 100 bitcoin, they might say, oh, they might do it, they might not, right? They might say, oh, that's a lot of bitcoin. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that they would. They probably would, if you're willing to risk that much Bitcoin on one transaction. But let's say, if you had 50 Bitcoins, you wouldn't want to have to do a bunch of little smalls just to cash out or move it around. So it would behoove you to know what their limits are. That's probably somewhere on their in their FAQ. How do we get over this? Do we buy coins? Cancel. Final amount. Last transaction takes. Why? That's a dead giveaway when the FAQ. There's an FAQ question. Says, why does my transaction take so long? Limitations on purchases. Okay, so there's some limitations. I don't see anything about the U.S. Oh, 20, no more than 3 payments. EU and other countries. I'm assuming that's part of the U.S. 500 limit for the first. The next person could be made in 4 days with $1,000 limits. No more than 6 payments within the first 2 weeks. No limits in 1 month at all. So they say. All right. I wish I had 50 Bitcoin. Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun? Right. Ripple and XRP are not the same, but are tied together in some way. He may see your post, Jamo. Well, maybe not. I'm sorry. Let me check. Jamalo. Was he asking me about... Aha. Does anyone know why the Ledger Live has a Ripple app and an XRP app, 2 different versions? Well, that's a good question. I believe they used to have a legacy Ripple app that you would run as a Chrome app. I'm sorry. I take that back. They used to have a legacy Ripple app that was a separate Windows app. And that's, I may even still have it on my computer. I'm not sure. No, I don't. So let's check it out. We've got the thing open. We've got this thing ready to go. So let's see if they even have Ripple, right? Okay, all right. So they have XRP as an account, right? And then I guess what we're looking at here on the manager, we have to confirm on the device that we want to be in the manager, which I did. Okay. And let's see, what does it say? Do they call it Ripple or XRP? I believe they call it Ripple, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So the app is named Ripple and the account is named XRP. Why they chose that inconsistent naming convention, I don't know. But if you want to install, if you have XRP and or Ripple, actually they're 2 different things, but it's, for our purposes, they're not really. We're just dealing with the tokens, right? We just want the tokens. So we would install the Ripple app, and then we would move we'd buy some Ripple or XRP somewhere, and then we would move it into our ledger. So for example, let's see if I've got room on the ledger. Probably not. I never have room for any of these. Nope. All right. So I'm going to have to take something off. We talked about this early on. So we're going to take off Vertcoin. Now this will not destroy any Vertcoin that I have stored on here. Keep that in mind. I can always go back and reinstall the Vertcoin app if I want to. There. Ah, come on. All right, so we're going to take something else off. Let's take Stellar off. Yes, it is true. This is very frustrating that we have to deal with this. But, you know, it's just one of those things. All right, so I got Stellar. Now let's try Ripple again. And will it not let me? Some of these are really okay. It's going to let me do it. Sometimes it's very frustrating. Certain apps, like the bug, or you have to force. You're forced. All right. So we'll now that we've got the app on here, and we want to view our Ripple balance or our Ripple wallet, or XRP wallet, what do you want to call it? We'll go over to the app, right? Where is it? There we go. Let's go into Ripple. All right. So we're in the Ripple app. Now let's go to accounts and let's add XRP, because they don't have it as Ripple here, but it's the same thing, right? Hit XRP, hit continue. And I'm in the it even calls it the XRP app. It says open the XRP app on your device. Go figure. They just got their name screwed up, I guess, right? Now it's going to synchronize. And as you can see, there was some Ripple on here a long time ago. It's still in there because Ripple requires you to have at least 20. And so when you move Ripple into a new wallet and then try to move it out, you can't take the 20 out. All right. So anyway, that's beside the point, right? So there we go. There it is, and there's our XRP. Wow, it's worth $5. Who would have thought? And you can see that, you know, a long time ago, I was moving a lot of Ripple in and out, and so that just goes to show you there was no Ripple app on my ledger, but there was some Ripple stored there, right? So the private keys never get destroyed. So that's really it. They just sort of messed up the naming a bit, but it's the same thing. They called the app Ripple, but it stores XRP. But most people use them interchangeably. But there is a fine difference. Some people say Ripple is the network or the company, and XRP is the token, and Ripple doesn't really require the XRP token to be useful. You can use the Ripple network without using XRP. I'm not going to get into all of that, but if you've got some Ripple coin or XRP coin, that's how you store it. I'd like to switch over to my crypto, but for some reason it won't let me get on their website. I have never really troubleshot that enough. But whenever I go to my crypto, I'm going to try to Google it once, right? Whenever I try to go to this, it rejects me. And I don't know if maybe it got added. I don't know what happened. Let me see if I can, oops. Maybe this will be the day that I figure it out, right? All right. Let's try that, right? Let's put a, I don't know what's blocking it. I'm assuming that it's my malware bytes, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to just put an exclusion in there. Let's add a website. This is excluding the website from malware. So I'm going to tell Malwarebytes that mycrypto.com is okay. And let's see if it'll let me on there this time. Nope, it won't. So something's blocking it. I don't know. I got so much protection on here. But I can go on to my Ether wallet all day long, so I don't know. But I've heard that mycrypto is better. It's the same thing, only better. Same people, same everything. So if you can get on my crypto, go for it. Good night, Trainspotter 82 from Scotland. It's very nice. Thanks for joining me. How do I transfer ONT tokens from Bittrex to my Neon wallet? I already have some ONT tokens on my Neon wallet. That I'm not too sure about, John. I would have to kind of look into what those tokens are. And what the Neon wallet is. I didn't know there was a Neon wallet. Do you mean a Neo wallet or the Neon wallet? Oh, okay. So there is a Neon wallet. Okay. So I don't have it. So I'll have to double check on that. So in general, though, if you have a wallet and you're trying to transfer from Bittrex, you just need to generate a receiving address, right? You would click receive, and it should give you an address, which you copy into your clipboard, and then paste it into your Bittrex account, right? So let's see here. Let's go to Bittrex. I'm going to have to put in this huge password here. All right. So we'll fill that in. Log in. Likes me. Google Authenticator. Okay. All right. So what is the wallet? I'm sorry, the crypto in question was ONT. So now we need to figure out, so he says he has it in Binance. So he's got an ONT wallet. All right, there it is, Ontology. And so, okay, I want to withdraw, right? And that's where you put your address, right there, ONT withdrawal address. So you would go over to your Neon wallet, and I can see here on this demo it says receive. So you would go to your ONT wallet or your ONT currency in the Neon wallet and choose receive. That's my assumption. And generate a receiving address, which you would paste into this guy. I don't have that cryptocurrency on my Binance, and I don't have that wallet installed, but that's the long and short of it. And then you would tell it how much you want to withdraw and hit submit. That should work, unless you've done that and it's not working. I don't know. Scott Lee has to go to work. Thanks, Scott, for joining me. Yeah, actually, you can hold an infinite number of wallets on the ledger using the recovery feature. You can generate an infinite number of 24-word recovery phrases and keep them written down in a safe place. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say 10, right? I've reset this thing 10 times, and each time I've generated a new 24-word recovery phrase. So all I need to do is go into recovery mode, restore using one of those 24-word recovery phrases, create a wallet, move some crypto in there, and then I can wipe that ledger, reset it again, and do a recovery from the second 24-word recovery phrase. Throw some crypto in that one, and then I can reset the ledger again and restore from the third one. And so I could have, let's say we've got 10 different recovery phrases, and the Ledger Nano has been reset all of those times. But we never really lose any of that crypto because it's always stored safely in that 24-word recovery phrase, which is quite amazing when you think about it. We use those 24-word recovery phrases to recover all of the wallets that were generated by that key. It's unbelievable how it works. But yes, crypto, and then if you're interested in all of that, check out Ledger. Oh, no, not here, sorry. Ledger Nano. I've done so many videos on Ledger Nano. Here, that one. How to hide Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on the Ledger Nano S. There are a couple ways to do that. My way is kind of difficult. And not very many views on this particular video. But it's an interesting video where I talk about you can create a Ledger Nano recovery phrase, store some crypto on there, and then reset the ledger. And then all that crypto is being hidden in that one recovery phrase. There's another way to add us like a, there's like a way, a ledger way to add a dummy password that opens up a dummy wallet, so that like if someone puts a gun to your head and forces you to enter your PIN, it'll open up like a dummy wallet with a little bit of crypto in it, something like that. I've never tried to do that, and I should do a video on that, but I haven't done it yet. And I have a dog in a pajamas. Let's go back here. Crypto bridge. Okay. So Alicia has a trading request on how to, maybe a video on how to trade on different platforms. I have to admit that I'm not a very good trader. I'm pretty impatient. So generally when I'm trading cryptocurrency, I just do market price so that it will execute right away. But there are other more savvy people that know how to place trades so that you know, they wait on the best price. The only risk with that is it could take a while, and you might not, your trade may not execute at all if you bid too low or too high, whatever your thing is. Right? Yes, cute doggy. I joined late and just sped through the earlier part. Your explanation about Ledger only holding so many apps that is super helpful. This would be an awesome video. Please make it. Yeah, I think I've talked on some of these others about managing your Ledger apps. Here, tricks. This one.
JT.
So that's the one where I talk about how to manage your apps. That was a while back too. That was before they had the firmware updates. So that's a pretty good video if you want to know how to juggle apps. Alrighty. I'm getting all kinds of YouTube notifications. Sometimes people will throw things at me in the comments, which I normally don't read, but I get them on my phone. Oh, these are some of the comments on my most recent video, which I just posted before I started the live stream. I've been kind of I was a bit ill, I had stomachache the day before yesterday, so I wasn't really up to making videos. But I did get a lot of ideas while I was laying there in bed resting. I thought, when I feel better, I'm going to do a video on how to buy Monero. So I managed to get it done today. And then I recorded a couple that I haven't posted yet. I don't know that 4 is the... I've got more than 4 on here right now. I've got... I got to enter the... I got to enter the pin again. Like I said, it has to do... it depends on the app. Some apps take up more space than others. I don't know how they all break down, but depending on the apps that you have on here, you can squeeze more than just 4. So let's see what we got here. We got Ripple 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I do only have 4 on here at the moment, but I think there were times where I had more because I had to delete 2 to get Ripple on here. Remember, I deleted Vertcoin and Stellar. So at that point, I had 5 at that point. So, and I know, I'm sure it can hold more than 5. It just depends on which 5 you have on there. But it's still a real pain in the butt. Yeah, and like I mentioned, you know, with the example of the Ripple, there was some Ripple on there that I had, irregardless of whether the app was on there or not. So once you store coins in there, create a wallet, it'll be there for good. So you can see at the moment, I've got Vertcoin, Digibyte, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Legacy, and I've also got Stellar on there too, but they don't have an app. So I've got the private keys to several coins stored on here, but we have to have to shuffle apps in order to access them. See, like the Vertcoin, I can see my balance. I just have to reinstall the Vertcoin app in order to send or receive the Vertcoin. Well, and I can receive Vertcoin if you have my Vertcoin address. So you don't need to have the ledger connected to receive cryptocurrency if someone knows the address of your Ledger wallet. And it will update here in Ledger Live without you having to connect the ledger. So if someone were to have sent me Vertcoin right now, the balance would update, even without the ledger attached. I've never used Trezor. I should get one just to, you know, so I can do more videos. Okay, so Trezor can hold 10 or 12. I like that. I don't know about Ledger Blue. I would assume maybe Ledger Blue has more space. Ledger Blue is like a little tablet by the same company that makes the Ledger Nano S, and that may have more storage space. Yes, it's very inconvenient. Yes, I agree, totally. Well, if that's the case, then Trezor may be better. Yeah, I don't know what really the drawbacks are with Trezor. There might be some, there might not. But usually when you say what's the best cryptocurrency wallet, let's see, best cold storage. They usually list the Ledger Nano first. Oh no, they got KeepKey. So they got KeepKey, Ledger, and Trezor, right? And then Coinbase, the hot wallet. So yeah, I'm not sure how much the Trezor costs, but that may be the way to go. It's very inconvenient. I totally agree with that. Let's see if there's any questions I missed here. Yeah, and Jamalo, like I was saying, they used to have an old Ripple app that ran as a Windows app. and it probably still works, but you would probably be better off using the Ledger Live XRP app than to use their old Ripple. It would, if I had the Ripple app, it would read the same balance. And I had trouble with the Ripple app in the past. There were times where I had Ripple in there and I launched the Ripple app and went into the Ripple Windows application, and then went into my Ledger Ripple app, and then it didn't read the balance right. It said that the balance was 0, and it was like, oh my god, what happened to my Ripple? And then you like disconnect and reconnect and fart around with it, and then it would finally show you the balance. It wasn't a very good wallet. So I'm assuming that this one is better than that other one that you found. Like I think we last week we were helping someone that was having that needed to use oh, I think I just Googled it. Huh? Ledger, Chrome, apps. Yeah. So you can still download them. Here, this one. See, the Ledger Ripple, and let me put that in. Christabel, please, not too loud. Ledger stuff. Okay. Christabel, please. We have this Ledger Ripple wallet for Windows, Mac, and Linux, but I would not recommend using it. Just use the new Ledger Live account for Ripple. You can still get a hold of this, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. I had trouble with it in the past. Like I said, we can store as many cryptos as we want on the ledger without having to do a reset. We just need to shuffle apps in and off in order to access those balances. So if I were just storing, you know, all 15 cryptos on my ledger in various amounts, I would just have to get them on there, and they would stay on there. So it's just whether, and I could see them all in Ledger Live. I just wouldn't be able to send without the ledger connected and the proper app open. Yes, it can. Jay Williamson says, can the Ledger Live see the balance of all the wallets you created? And the answer is yes. Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, Digibyte, I can see the Digibyte, but it's not on here. Is it? No, it's currently not on here, but I can see the balance. And the Vertcoin is currently not on here either, but I can see the balance. All right. And then I've got Monero keys on here, I've got Stellar keys on here, and I can view those in their respective desktop wallets that connect to the ledger. In the same way that my Ether wallet connects to your ledger and reads balances and can send and receive ERC20 tokens, there are other wallets like the Stellar wallet, which can connect to the Stellar private keys on here, or the Monero desktop wallet, which can connect to private keys on here. So it's a pretty versatile little thing, but not everything is compatible with Ledger Live. No, the apps are proprietary apps. Firefox apps, no. they used to use Chrome apps, which was kind of a not a very stable or a good way to access their wallets. They're moving away from that now, and they've switched over to the Ledger Live interface. It used to be that they had Chrome apps. Let me show you here. See, these old Chrome apps here were how you used to be able to access. And the Ledger Wallet Bitcoin accessed all of your altcoins, which was kind of confusing because if you had Litecoin, you had to launch the Ledger Wallet Bitcoin, and then it shows you your Litecoin balance if you were in the Litecoin app. So to sort of bring things a little more consistent, I guess, Ledger Live is a bit more consistent. Here. Ledger Live is more consistent, and you can view all of your balances in one interface instead of having to use two different apps. And then, like I said, the old Chrome apps, there was also the Ledger app, which was not even a Chrome app, it was like a Windows app. So it was all kind of discombobulated. So this is their new interface, and this is what they'll continue to support going forward. That'd be the way I would go with that. Let's see, anything else? Ripple is, yeah, I mean, we're talking a lot about Ripple. Ripple is kind of a payment network. It's sort of a blockchain-based network, and and then they have XRP, which is their token. But the promise of the Ripple network is it's a blockchain-based way to transfer money quickly and easily across borders, or between you and me, or someone in a different country. Ripple's not the only company into this. Stellar is into this too. These are payment networks, right? Move money across borders quickly. So Stellar and Ripple are two of the competing in this space. There may be some others that are kind of doing the same thing, but that's basically what they claim to be. Basically huge exchanges. They're competing with the SWIFT banking network, and if you're not familiar with SWIFT, if you've ever tried to send money to someone in a different country, you know it's a bit complicated. It takes a long time, and you know you have to have all these. It has to be set up properly, and it takes a long time. So, and you have to have a bank account to do it, right? So, the SWIFT banking system is what big companies use to transfer money back and forth between different countries and banks and whatnot. And Stellar and Ripple are trying to come up with a better, faster, more efficient way to move money around, basically. And I guess in one sense you could say, hey, I want to send money to my friend in Europe, and he uses euros and I have dollars. I could pay in dollars, do the transfer, and then he'll get euros. And whether they have to, you know, under the hood, they might exchange my dollars for Stellar and transfer the Stellar to his country, and then exchange the Stellar for euros on his end. That's kind of how this all works, right? All right, so I'm kind of stuck about what to talk about next. If there's any other questions, that'd be great. Trying to think of any news. Let's check the news. Just by the way, there are some great. Oh, let's go back over here to Brave. There's some great crypto news sites if you are interested in cryptocurrency news. Cointelegraph is a good one if you're not familiar with Cointelegraph. And there's another one here, CCN. And you know, if I'm kind of up on, want to catch up on currency, whoops, I'll check out these websites. And then CoinDesk. Those are the big three that I normally use. And you'll see a lot of, they'll get a lot of, if you're on Google and you've searched for cryptocurrency news before, you'll get a lot of suggestions for, on these. Jay Williamson, the coins that you have in your ledger right now are on, say, Wallet 1. Then you created another wallet called Wallet 2 with different coins that are on Wallet 1. At one time, can the ledger. The coins will never overlap. You can create multiple wallets even for the same currency. So I could create multiple Bitcoin wallets if I want to, if I have a mind to. Let's see. Let's see if I could add another Bitcoin wallet. Maybe not. Yeah, it used to be in the old days you could just kind of create empty wallets. Let's go over to Bitcoin. I think it'll let me do it. Sorry, it finds wallets that I already have, right? See, it found some old Bitcoin wallets that I used to have. Okay. So here, now it's saying I can add a new, so that's how you do it. You just say add account and go into the app, and it needs to know that the app has to be on there at the time, and then I can create a second Bitcoin account. Call it Bitcoin Reserve, Bitcoin 2, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. I won't add these, but I will add this one. And there, I've just created a brand new Bitcoin account. That's empty, right? It's down here at the bottom, right? So it's just a blank wallet. So that's how you do it if you want to just create a blank account. They will never overlap each other. It'll just generate brand new key set for the brand new wallet. Okay, can only show wallet 1 or wallet 2. What I would like to know is, can the live wallet see all the coin on the different wallets? Yeah, so if I've created a bunch of wallets here, then if you want to see the total balance, you go to portfolio at the top here, and it'll give you your total value of all of your wallets at the same time in US dollars. Whether that's helpful or not, I don't know. But then, you know, you scroll down a little bit. Let's go full screen here. You scroll down a little bit and it shows you how it breaks down, right? There's Vertcoin, Digibyte, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and these blank wallets down here at the bottom, right? But you can see them all in one interface using Live, right? Or you can look at them individually by clicking over here on the side. You can just see the Vertcoin wallet, its current balance in Vertcoin and US dollars, and then a list of transactions, right? Or, like you said, if you want to go up to portfolio, it's one unified interface where you can view the balance of all of your accounts at the same time. Yeah, so you can, yes. You know, it's funny you should mention that Digibyte app because when I started to do a video earlier, I opened my ledger and it told me to update. And it had just updated yesterday. And then when I updated it, it said that it had removed or reverted the Digibyte app back. So let's check that. You can go over here to About and go to Version and look at the release notes. So the latest news on the Digibyte is that they rolled it back to the previous Digibyte app until they release a wider fix for Digibyte incoming release. So apparently there was some problem with Digibyte. Where did they fix that? Here. Fix Digibyte sync timeout hang due to accounts with a lot of transactions. This fix affects all other cryptos encountering same issue. Oops, timeout error. I had someone let me know when I did my Digibyte mining app mining video that don't mine directly to a Ledger wallet address because it freezes when it gets too many transactions. And I thought, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. But apparently that was the problem with Digibyte. So yeah, they added some fixes for Digibyte, and the fixes didn't fix, so they rolled back to an earlier version, and they're still waiting to release a better Digibyte wallet. So it's sort of not resolved completely yet. That would be, yeah. I noticed that earlier when I updated it to this latest version. It said something about rolling it back. Hey, Jay Williamson. I like CNN and Cointelegraph, yeah. And just stay away from Roger Ver's news site. Can you store your Ledger Nano S with Ledger Blue? I don't know. If the Ledger Blue has a 24-word recovery phrase, then I'm assuming you can. But I probably want to do a little research before I tried. But even if you tried to restore a Ledger Nano S using a Ledger Blue 24-word recovery phrase, if it didn't work, you would just reset and restore again back to the original. So you can't really destroy a Ledger Nano S. Your crypto is always safe as long as you have that 24-word recovery phrase safely stored. So, I don't know, I've been hearing a lot of doom and gloom about Ethereum. Lately we were talking about Ethereum earlier, that it has some competitors in this space. And it's another one of those, well, we like Ethereum, but we don't like Ether. Just like, you know, the bankers don't like Bitcoin, but they like blockchain. So, okay, we like the Ethereum network, but we think Ether doesn't have any value. I don't know, I've been hearing a lot of that lately. So anyway, they're saying that they think ETH could go down to 0. C'est la vie. They say that about Bitcoin too. I guess this story is about there's a lot of people shorting Ethereum. I guess now they've got Ethereum futures on Bitfinex. I guess Bitfinex allows you to short cryptocurrencies. All right. I'm not a big trader. So scattered gains, I don't know. It seems like things are still a bit down today because I can see here that my portfolio is only 89. It was like, I don't know. It was 110 a day or two ago. Not that that's a huge swing. It's not a big deal. But it's just in my brain, I know how much this was worth a couple of days ago. And why don't we check CoinMarketCap while we're talking about that? That's another great website if you're following the cryptocurrency markets. You can see Bitcoin's still a bit down today, a bit, hovering around 65. You know, it was funny because it was up to like 72 last week and was just sort of hanging there. And I kept, it was 7,000, then it was 71, and then it was 72, and I kept waiting. When's it going to go to 73? And it never quite did. And then all of a sudden it took the dive a couple of days ago. So, I don't know. I really don't understand all of the dynamics of the market, but it just doesn't seem right. The fluctuations don't, you know, seem to have any rhyme or reason to them. But we're all happy when it's going up, right? So we don't question it when it's going up. We only get upset and question when it's going down, right? So that's where we stand. Most things are down. The Cardano's down to 8 cents. Monero was on a tear last week. As you can see, this little bulge right here, it was just going up and up and up and up and up. And then when Bitcoin took a dive a few days ago, it came down too, but not that far down. Monero was a couple weeks ago, it was like down to like, what is this? Oh, this is May. No, it has recently gone up. Yeah, it's like 139 or 115 currently. Oh. Anyway, Monero was going up. It was down below 100 a few weeks ago, and then it was on quite a tear over the last few weeks. It has gone down, but not back down to where it was. So Monero is holding up pretty darn good. That's why I did a video on Monero, because there's been a lot of interest in Monero lately. Wow, stealing users Monero. That's a bummer. Oh, Apple Watch includes two-factor authentication for Monero wallets. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so there's been a lot of positive stuff about Monero lately. Live Coin Watch, okay. Lice. Actually, I think I had a couple on here on price charts. There's Coin Puffs, which is one, and Nomics. Yeah, that's kind of another one that you can use. I'm just more familiar with CoinMarketCap, but I've heard some troubling things about CoinMarketCap and how it gets its trading volumes. So it may not be the best. Let's try that. Live Coin Watch. Hey, there we go. So that's pretty cool too. There we go. All right. So that's another one. Let's drop that into price. So, you know, there's been a lot of talk about exchange traded funds for Bitcoin, which is a way for people to trade Bitcoin without actually owning it. There'll be certain people that I am assuming are required to hold a certain amount of it in custodial. They have to have some, and then they can buy and sell contracts related to it. People that are betting on the price going up or down, futures contracts. But in reality, the actual commodity never really gets delivered, which is how gold works. People can buy and sell gold futures without ever having to actually exchange gold bricks or coins or anything. So they can make their fortune or lose their fortune without ever touching the gold. And that's the idea with a Bitcoin exchange traded fund. That this one does seem to be a little more up to the minute. Right? It's constantly changing, so that's kind of cool. And you can see, I like it's nice, big. You can see all of the icons. Pretty cool. Right? So as we can see, Monero is now the number 10 cryptocurrency. It's better. It's taken over IOTA, Dash, and Tron. Tron, I think, was number 7, or at least number 8, a few months back. And Tron has kind of fallen from grace. Tether is doing pretty well. CoinGecko, okay. Actually, yeah, I use CoinGecko for all my individual price charts. Right? Yeah. Yeah, so there's look at those charts. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, thanks for hanging in there, guys, and you know, watching my videos even when the cryptocurrency market appears to be a lost cause. I don't think it is. I'm not real happy with the way the markets, you know, tend to crash on bad news, like some of the other people mentioned earlier. Why do the markets always go down on bad news, but they never go up on good news? Let's hope that changes in the near future, or the, you know, this year, next year, whenever. Let's hope that good news brings the market up at some point. Litecoin is number 4, and Litecoin is dirt cheap right now. You know, Litecoin used to be, well, Bitcoin was 20 grand. Litecoin was like 300. Ethereum was like 1,200 earlier this year. So there's a lot of rebound in these cryptocurrencies. If you're wondering, you know, oh, should I buy this cryptocurrency? If you got the money and you're willing to risk it, and you can afford to lose it, look at some of these that are way off their highs. I mean, as opposed to, say, an untested coin that doesn't have much longevity. I mean, Litecoin's been around for years, and Ethereum's been around since 2015, I believe. So these are established coins that had, you know, pretty good runs, and they're way off their highs. So, you know, it sounds like a fire sale to me. But I'm not a financial advisor. I believe in cryptocurrencies and blockchains as the next step in money. Decentralized way for modern people to exchange value with each other. Right? It's an idea whose time has come. And it's based on math, right? It's not based on anything else. It's not based on banks and bankers and regulatory bodies, governments, or anything else, or, you know, the people at the top that have all that hold everything. It's decentralized value that people like you and me can exchange with each other. Yes, I would like to see all the coins kind of blow out. Yes, you're right. It's been 1.5 hours, and a friend of mine has asked me to take a look at his computer. So I told him I'd come over after the live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up so I can get over there and help my buddy. And thank everyone for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Check out my channel page and search for any topics that you think might be of interest to you, and hopefully I'll have something that you know, will be of value to you, help you learn something, entertain you, and keep subscribe to my channel if you want to get alerts, and I should be posting a couple more videos in the next few days, one on the Tor browser, and then I've got another that I recorded on using a YubiKey for two-factor authentication, which I think is pretty cool. So once again, guys, thanks for joining me. And I'm going to go ahead and do this thing. Don't forget, we have the live Q&A every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please join me again for the live Q&A from LA. Hope to see you there. Throw out any questions that you have, and I'll try my best to answer them on the fly. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And like I said, when you subscribe, there's a little bell there that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you guys again soon.